Welcome back to 556 Media. This time, we're talking about body armor. Let's get into it. Now, as always, we're going to preface the video by saying we are not sponsored by any manufacturer. So these are just my own personal opinions and my own experiences that are reflected in this video. And we're going to go over the different types of armor. And I apologize if some of these seem dirty and worn, because they are. But in some cases, they've saved my life. Other cases, they've saved other lives. So it all works out in the end. So the first piece of armor you're looking at is called Concealable soft body armor. It was meant to be worn underneath clothing or uniform, but meant to protect the upper body, the vital organs of the person wearing it. And over time, because of technology and innovation, it went from just soft body armor, concealable soft body armor, to the inclusion of trauma plates or additional ballistic plates that covered the center of the chest, smaller pieces. And we'll dive into that here in a couple minutes. This second version is an outer carrier, or not a concealed carrier, but an outer carrier. It's more meant to be worn on the outside of clothing or uniform. And it's meant to hold soft body armor as well as the same trauma plates and other ballistic plates that I was talking about. But it's not meant to be concealable, obviously. And this one is well worn. This was the second unit that I wore. I wore the first one out, and this one's almost done too during my profession. All right, third up on the list is a combination. This is a big bad mamma jamma. So this is a combination of both soft armor and hard armor. And obviously you can tell, just like the outer carrier, this is also meant to be an outer carrier, worn by many SWAT teams, tactical units, special forces around the world. So you have soft armor, and on top of the soft armor, you have plates, armored plates. And again, we'll go into that in more detail shortly. The fourth and final version of armor, body armor, that we're going to discuss is simply armored plates. And this is a plate carrier. It is not designed to hold soft body armor in addition to hard plates, just hard plate armor alone. And we'll break that down soon as well. So back to the first one, the concealable soft body armor. And this one's a more modern design. It incorporates the pouch for the trauma plate, the blunt force trauma plate, or an additional small body armor plate of material. It's adjustable. It's meant to be worn underneath a uniform or clothing. It's adjustable by Velcro for both height and girth. Very comfortable, but not very nice if you're working in warmer climates. And let's break this down a little bit more. So a quick peek inside the soft armor, the concealable soft body armor. You can see inside this is just an outer covering. It's very thin material, and you can see kind of the outline of a pouch in there, and that holds the trauma plate. And let's break one out. All right, so you can see I took the front panel out, and the back panel is very similar. It just doesn't have the trauma plate up front. In this case, it's a ballistic trauma plate. It serves dual purposes. It's both a trauma plate for impact and a ballistic plate that adds to the protection of the armor. So as you can see, it's flexible armor, comfortable to wear, lightweight, and then you have an additional pouch built into the armor, which holds, in this case, a dual purpose trauma plate, which is both serves as protection from impact for internal organs, but also adds an extra layer of ballistic protection on top of the soft armor. So that's what the inside looks like on the front. The back's the same minus the plate. or minus the trauma plate. All right, so we just saw the soft body armor insert, is what they're called, that goes inside the concealable vest, best way to put it. Well, here's the external carrier. The external carrier uses the same soft body armor in addition to having the capability of holding hard armor or the trauma plates. In this case, there's soft body armor, front and back, of course, and the addition of the trauma plates. Only difference is this has more means of holding equipment, as you can see, and these are well worn. This one should have a trauma kit in it, and it does. No longer in service, but I think that's the only thing still on it. Of course, some of the patches have been removed for privacy reasons, but this I use in a professional capacity, and this was my second one, the exact same version that I went through. The first one just got worn out. But again, not much different than the concealable version, other than it's not meant to be concealed, and very effective. Very effective for personal protection and for a means of carrying additional equipment or removing equipment from, say, a gun belt, battle belt, etc. Okay, the third one here, the Big Mama Jamma. Again, like I said, worn by SWAT, BRT, Special Forces. It's an altogether body armor system, a combination of soft armor and hard armor. And just like the soft armor that you saw in the first, and it's included in the second vest, this one also has the same type of soft armor system, except with one difference. There's a front pouch and a rear pouch, and this is where it opens. Let me bring out the hard armor. Okay, so there's a hard armor plate that was taken out of the front. In this case, it's ceramic. And there's generally two types of material that are used for hard armor plates, ceramic and steel. Usually a strong steel such as AR-500 steel. In this case, it's ceramic. It also has a coating on it that prevents breakup. It can take multiple hits from rifle caliber rounds. This one is a standalone level 4 rifle rated plate, 7.62 rated at a minimum. So 7.62 by 3.9, 308. So it's a pretty significant plate for protection. It's also very heavy. So not only are you wearing the vest, the material alone weighs something. The soft body armor included with the material that make up the vest weighs even more. And then you add hard plates to it, front and back, or just front or just back. In this case, it's front and back. Adds a significant amount of weight to it. One quick note, I will say that this specific piece of armor has upper arm ballistic protection. It's just soft body armor. It also has a neck piece that velcros in. However, I took it out because, quite frankly, it was very strangling to me. It kind of choked me, so I got rid of it. But there's places to mount patches, there's MOLLE attachments, things like that, whereas this outer carrier doesn't have MOLLE attachment, it just has pouches to mount equipment. And here, in this version, with the soft armor and hard armor combination, you can set up your own rig how you want, front and back. And the back looks very similar, it's just MOLLE and Velcro, so you can customize it how you want, but soft armor and hard armor combination, yeah, I can speak. All right, and the last version we're going to look at is just a hard armor carrier. A plate carrier is what they're referred to. This solely carries hard armor, just like the plate you saw that came out of the combination outer carrier. This is also designed to be an outer carrier, but only carries hard armor plates. And again, very customizable. As you can see, there's mag pouches, you have Velcro for your insignia, you have MOLLE attachments for other equipment. It has an adjustable cummerbund and shoulder straps. And I'm about ready to pull out one of the armor plates to show you. All right, after a couple minutes of trying to get that thing out. It's a tight fit, believe me. And the reason why is it's a hard armor plate that does not have spall covering on it. So it's inside of a pouch. The hard armor plate is inside of a pouch that is a spall protector. Let's discuss that for a second. Okay, so I took the back plate out, and the back and front are almost identical. This one, I don't know if you can really see it in the video, this one has a curve to it. It also has what's called shooter's cuts. Both allow for conformation to the human body, also for flexibility for the shoulders and the arms, whether you're in movement or you're shooting. So these shooter cuts, unlike the first plate I showed you, which was basically a very heavy rectangle, this one's made, a more modern one, made to make it easier to move and use your weapon when necessary. The other difference about this plate versus the first one I showed you, this one does not have spalling protection. If you don't know what spalling is, basically when a bullet hits a hard object, it breaks up and it fragments and goes in different directions, much like a hand grenade. So if you're hit with a bullet just as is like this from the factory, the only reason there's a coating on there is to protect the steel. Now if you want spalling protection, this particular model, you add an anti-spalling pouch that holds the hard armor and both insert into your plate carrier. You can get the hard armor, the steel armor, with anti-spalling material already applied, but cost efficiency wise, for me, it turned out that buying the standard steel armor plate, AR-500 steel armor plate, and by the way, this is a level 3 standalone plate, but adding the soft anti-spalling pouch to it was more economically sound. And that's what I chose to do. And there's nothing wrong with that. If you want to spend the extra money on a steel plate that has anti-spalling material already applied to it, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. I just chose what I chose. You make your own decisions. And a brief summation, you've seen some of the various body armor platforms that are available to you and that are used by both professionals and citizens alike, worldwide, frankly. You can do your own research where you can get it. If it's illegal to purchase body armor in your state, sorry. And depending on your economic position, you may be forced to choose one platform over the other. So think about that when you're doing your own research, and I expect you to do that. Thanks for watching. The next video that's coming out is going to be part 2 on body armor, and that's going to do with helmets. So stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, and we'll see you on the next video.